This initiative is the first of its kind by Rockefeller Foundation globally. Why now?
Because we are in a moment when actually we've seen a lot of changes and shocks. If there is something that is really constant in this world, it's constant change and many shocks that affect people. These shocks also are affecting mostly cities because we've seen also growing urbanization. In 1913, when the foundation started its work, only 1 in 10 people globally lived in a city. Today, it's 1 in every 2 people that live in a city. And this is going crescendo because by 2050, about 75% of us will be living in a city. Yet cities are really ill-prepared to contain this growth, to have the right infrastructure and setting and planning to actually accommodate that. And this raises many challenges, whether it's infrastructure-based, whether it is public health challenges, or even security challenges. And all of that can be mitigated and proactively managed and to ensure that actually cities remain those places of opportunity for the people.
You house your Africa headquarters here in Nairobi. What would you say some of the challenges Nairobi is facing in terms of being a sustainable city?
The traffic, which is resulting from an increased population and probably insufficient road infrastructure that would allow people to move swiftly and to get to their economic activities, to their activities in general. When you see this congestion, that is not just typical to Nairobi only, but many African cities face that. The economic toll is quite high. So I think that Nairobi also, like many African cities, face the issue of housing, or what I would call decent housing. We have seen also that Nairobi is home to what is known as one of the biggest African slums, where actually, which is an area of high vulnerability of thousands of people who, in the face of a shock, whether it is man-made or natural disaster, would have actually, will be very well affected.
Of course, and after the launch today, you're expecting a huge interest from the counties here in Kenya.
Well, I hope so. We all hope that the announcement of this 100 Resilient Cities Centennial Challenge will really spark a lot of enthusiasm from the cities around the world. And we are really looking forward to receiving hundreds and hundreds of applications. But what is really important, and that I wanted to say, is that probably all cities interested to be part of this Centennial Challenge and this network will not be able to be part of that. We have only 100 seats. But for me and for the foundation, what is really important is not just to be in that network. It's really to have the thinking and the awareness of the need and urgency to really work on building cities' resilience, whether it is within the network or outside the network, at the network, but tapping onto the knowledge and best practices generated by the network. What is really important is really to take resilience seriously, to work on it resolutely, to ensure that we are less vulnerable.
Lastly, Mamadou, Africa is rising with 2013 GDP projections set to be over 5%. As Rockefeller Foundation, do you agree with this and do you sense this growth across the region?
Africa has been the continent on the rise with really high growth rates for the past decade. Actually, among last year, among the 10 world countries that had the highest growth rate, 5 of them are in Africa. So that says a lot. But the biggest challenge is now, how do you make sure that this growth translates concretely into people's livelihoods, into people's well-being, so that the benefits of that growth are well shared among the populations, so that the growth that we are talking about really offers the opportunities, including to poor people. We need to make sure that we are proactive in really having a better governance, whether it is political or economic governance in Africa, to make sure that we are not leaving some factors that may, if not attended, that may in the future undermine this economic growth in Africa. I think this is really the challenge that African leaders should be taking today.